He would be delivering his few thoughts on this day. And after this whole session, you will have some break and then we will all gather in the auditorium. There will be documentary release and screening of Gnana Jatara. So why I said that the country has gone through, a particular phase in this 1 year, and what sort of message that, this is delivering for the further years is something, it's very peculiar, or it's very significant for all of us to understand. Now, one thing that Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, today morning when he started his speech from Red Fort, again, this is something any nation would look upon, as in from morning 6 a.m. or from morning 7 a.m., you will all look at Red Fort, the speech of Prime Minister Modi. Now, he said that though he mentioned on the youth, though he mentioned on the Vikasit Bharat, he has raised fundamentally two issues yet again. He said that generally in India, we say about Atithi Devo Bhava, but the government is focusing on Nagarik Devo Bhava, that is, citizen Devo Bhava. Basically, trying to neutralize the entire situation, and how, the government is trying to put their efforts in having the trust on its citizens is something that, Modi wanted to say. And, the speech was going well, as in, recording the innovation, etc., the achievements of the government, so on and so forth. Then, I was just thinking that, वो बम क्यों नहीं फोड़ा है अभी? Generally, वो बम फोड़ता है. And that, there came his major thing that, we need to isolate the Dimagi Naxals from this country. He said that, the Naxals, the whole idea of the Naxal, which is there in the minds of the people, that has to be isolated. Now, Operation Kagar is there. You have eliminated the so-called Naxals physically by encountering them, by killing them, and now he's cleverly mentioning that you need to isolate the Dimaki Naxals from this country. Now that's the, one very interesting thing one has to understand of how any Prime Minister would respond to this country in terms of envisioning the future of this country. Now, we all know that the country's freedom is celebrated every year, but when we Phule Ambedkarites or the oppressed communities, when we celebrate this freedom, this is not in a way for the sake of celebrating freedom, but in a way this is to rethink the whole idea of the freedom. Now, what do we mean by rethinking the idea of the freedom that the Constitution has granted initially? Now, with this, few words, which I feel very important to set the context, because if we don't mention, that's what I said, that's why, I said that, honoring these visionaries in the first and then hoisting the national flag, probably you won't see that tradition anywhere. You would see anyone will respecting or hoisting the national flag, but we do it in a reverse. If you think that is an anti-national act, please, you can call us an anti-national, we are proud of it, right? But this has a context, this has a cultural significance of honoring the anti-caste visionaries. Number two, today also marks a very historic event in Indian political history. First time from the Red Fort, Vande Mataram has been sang. So generally national anthem, you all know, Jana Gana Mana will be recited. But for the first time in 150 years, Vande Mataram has been sort of sang there, rendered from the stage of Red Fort. So 1875 to 2026 makes 151 years of Vande Mataram. Now, this particular message that the government wanted to give is something very interesting for all of us. Now, what happens in 1873? Mahatma Phule publishes Gulamgiri, right? Which, some of you might know. Mahatma Phule publishes Phule's Gulamgiri in 1873, and Vande Mataram comes in 1875. The government is trying to sort of celebrate Vande Mataram, right, in a very, very extravagant way in, after 150 years. Now, this is a political message also wants to give by attacking the Congress party, because they accuse Nehru, they accuse the Congress party, saying that Vande Mataram has been truncated. Vande Mataram, has been, few lines have been omitted for their own political benefit, etc. So now the government is saying that we are the true upholders of the Vande Mataram, etc. Now, Phule, and by mentioning Vande Mataram song, Modi and his associates mention one point, that this is basically to free the minds of the Indians. Now, if one person who has mentioned about freeing the minds of these people, that is Mahatma Phule in writing, Gulamgiri in 1873. Narendra Modi ji, if you are not recognizing that, then your Vande Mataram, your Janaganamana won't make any sense if you are not recognizing Phule's Gulamgiri or Ambedkar's annihilation of caste. This, the nation has to remember. Number two, freedom of the mind is something that, everybody is speaking in this point of time. That's the reason I said this is, this 80th anniversary or 80th Independence Day to next 2047, the next 20 years. Look at every year's, the narrative that they are going to give. It is going to be a historical blunder that, these people are doing to this country. Now, with all the due respect to the government, with all the due respect to the Prime Minister, most importantly, right? I would say when you mention about freedom of mind, when this country is today talking about freedom of mind, what sort of freedom of mind that you are all talking about? You would just say that it is all about decolonizing the mind, but you don't talk about decastizing or de-Brahminizing the mind. Now, that's why I said we need to honor this anti-caste visionary first than the regular protocol. Are we in a position to understand this? Freedom of mind or the cultivation of mind is the ultimate human existence, is what Ambedkar said. If there is no emotional integration, there cannot be a nation worth calling as a nation, is what Mahatma Phule says. And Gautama Buddha says that Athadipo Bhava. And he also mentions that this world is a dungeon. And in this dungeon, these humans are prisoners. You can draw parallel to Plato's allegory of cave. And this allegory of dungeon that Gautam Buddha is mentioning, he says that humans can be freed. It's just that we need to guide. The mind will guide us. If you take this in a wrong direction, you would end up in the dungeon. If you take this mind into a liberative force, you will come out of the dungeon and you will see the sun. Again, draw parallel to Plato's allegory of cave. Now this is very important parallel or significant comparison that Gautam Buddha has raised. Now, does this government recognize this? Freedom of mind? Where Phule, Ambedkar, Periyar, Savitribai, they said that if it is about freedom of mind, then that freedom should come from the de-Brahminizing process, or that freedom should come from the larger Brahminism. This institution teaches that. No matter what anybody calls this institution as, no matter what you would brand this institution as, no matter what you brand the individuals or the family members as, this institution has one sole objective: to free the minds of these people from the clutches of Brahminism and casteism and patriarchy. Mark it. And we are going to do, at the time when this country is celebrating the 100 years of independence, this Amrita Satya Kolluri Educational Society and Phule Ambedkar Center for Philosophical and English Training will also celebrate its 25 years of its existence. And in that 25 years, in the larger 100 years of this larger independent history is going to make a significant historical mark. So we always say here that injustice has no tradition, what philosophers say. But in India, injustice has a tradition, taking the roots, taking the inroads of Brahminism. And now this institution is saying that justice will also have a tradition, equality will also have a tradition, dialogue will also have a tradition. And finally, a sort of message or a response to what Mohan Bhagawat ji also recently said. He said that he sees protest also a form of dialogue. He says that Gen Z should not be called as anti-national. क्या कमाल की बात है. RSS says that the Gen Z should not be called as anti-nationals, whereas the BJP says, or the other, people in the government says that the protesters are anti-nationals. I think this paradox, this whole confusion that they are creating is not a real confusion that they have, but a real confusion that they want, the citizens to enter, right? So nobody is anti-national in this country. If there is one biggest anti-national in this country, a larger force, those anti-nationals are the people who are killing the Adivasis in the name of different things. They are the, anti-nationals who are not even looking at the farmer's suicide. So they are the biggest anti-nationals, or they are the actual anti-nationals who are damaging or who are completely destroying the fabric of this nation. So these few words, we all need to think, or we all need to be cautioned ourselves. What is this freedom of mind that this nation is talking about? Yesterday, your friend Savan, in the night, he was mentioning that, sir, I wrote few lines. But I only remember the second line, which, from the night I was just thinking. He said that, the rich has something. What was that? The rich has liquidity towards, the domination, etc., what he tries to articulate. And the poor has solidarity. Friends, yes, the poor will have solidarity. And that solidarity is in the pain. That solidarity the poor will have is in the struggle. But that solidarity, we need to mobilize. That struggle and that solidarity, we need to capitalize. And if we are not able to do that, then there is a fundamental failure. And why I am saying this? Because this institution, if you are not understanding the responsibility of this institution, as a student here, you come here, you stay here for 30 days and you leave. You stay here for 2 months or 3 months, you leave. But who is taking, who is taking this entire caravan ahead? It is you who has to take the caravan ahead. Friends, I say with this, I myself and Dr. Sudarshan Balaboyana Garu, the director, we both say this with a bit of pain, that it is you who have to take this caravan ahead. 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, we will be there, we will be gone. But the idea will remain, the Phule Ambedkarite ideology will remain until this earth will remain. This you need to understand, right? So I am once again saying that the larger responsibility is on you. You need to understand the institution's objective. You need to understand the sacrifice that the people are doing outside for the cause of this nation and for the cause of this movement. If you are not in a position to understand, if we don't respect our institutions, if we don't survive or save our institutions, then this country will enter into somebody else's hands. And those people will ruin our life. And I used the word ruin, not in a very nominal sense. I said the ruin or destroying, I'm using this word, as they endorse against the moral freedom, as they endorse against the spiritual freedom, as they endorse against the cultural, political freedom. And remember, it is this anti-caste visionaries who have laid a path, who have shown us to endorse moral freedom, spiritual freedom, and political, cultural freedom. And with the end, as a last one line, I would say that what again Gautam Buddha had written, what Dr. Ambedkar have written in Buddha and his Dhamma, mentioning about Gautam Buddha, that this world is a dungeon and we are all prisoners in that. Now, you all, we all, are we ready to be as a prisoner, or are we ready to free ourselves? Do you want to be a prisoner?
No.
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 Then you need to embrace the Phule Ambedkarite ideology in freeing yourself. Thank you. Jai Bhim, Jai Savitri. Over to Sachin.